Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
I'll try. There you go.
How you doing?
All right. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Today is Monday, June 9th, 2025. This is the City of Camilla regular council meeting for June. And at this time, I'd like to turn to our interim city manager and city clerk, Sheriff Ford, to call the roll.
Councilman Moran. Here. Councilman Garland.
Here.
Councilman Morgan.
Here.
Councilman Collins.
Here.
Councilman Maple.
Here.
Councilman Collins.
Here. All right, thank you, everybody. And before we continue, everybody, I'd like to introduce Attorney Wallace Washington from Denmark Ashby. He felt like getting on the road today, so he drove from Atlanta to be here with us today. Truly appreciate that, Mr. Attorney. Yes, sir. Thank you. And before we move on, just want to make sure, Mr. Attorney, any words from you?
No, no, this time.
Okay, fair enough. All right, at this time, Minister Anita White, are you here? No, that's me. Minister, you can lead us in prayer, please.
Before I lead us in prayer, I want to recite to us Psalms 133, the Psalm of David. And it said, "Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like a precious ornament upon the head, and runs down the beard unto Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirt of his garment." This psalm is letting us know that all of us love Camilla. And when you work in unity, harmony comes out of it. When the oil that rains down on David's beard, it anointed him, and then the garment is the rest of us. And so I just want us to know that if we work toward harmony, God blesses it. It's only 3 verses, so read it when you get a chance. Father God, we thank you for the opportunity to be here. We thank you, Lord, how that you woke us up this morning with life and new mercies. And so, Lord, we ask right now that you will move in this meeting tonight. Give each of the counselors wisdom. Lord, let them move in unity. Let them do what is best for the citizens of Camilla. We know, God, that all of us love this city. And Lord, we pray right now that you will just have your way tonight. Pray that you will give us ears to hear that we might not be able to hear because we got our own agendas. But give us hearing ears and understanding that what you do in this place will benefit all of the citizens of Camilla. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Minister White, thank you so much for that prayer. And at this time, council, instead of amending the agenda at this stage, what I will do is ask later on in the action items. As you know, everybody got that email related from the county regarding their inability to manage our elections this year. So we're gonna have to obviously figure that out. But I will wait until we get into the action items and ask for a motion to amend the agenda at that particular time, because there may be some other thoughts related to that when we get there. So just know that that's coming, but at this stage, I'm just gonna ask, is there a motion to approve the agenda as submitted?
Motion to approve. Second.
I have a motion properly seconded in discussion. All right, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right, thank you, council. Council, at this time, is there a motion to approve the minutes from the April 7th, 2025 work session?
Motion to approve. Second.
I have a motion properly seconded in discussion. All right, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right. Council, at this time, is there a motion to approve the minutes from the May 12th, 2025 council meeting?
So moved. Second.
Motion is properly seconded. Any discussion? All right, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right, thank you, council. At this time, do we have any speaker appearances? And again, everybody, just as a reminder, to state your name, and just know that you have 3 minutes.
Evening, Mayor Owens, council members. Ford, White, and other people that are gathered here on today. My name is Spence. I'm a resident of Camilla, Georgia. I kind of pleasure to stand before you this evening to offer my appreciation to Mayor Owens for the outstanding and tremendous work he has done for the city of Camilla. Proverbs 29:18 states that where there is no vision, the people perish. A visionary is one who has leadership style that emphasizes long-term goals and strategic thinking, with encouragement to embrace creativity and discipline in achieving a shared vision. Since Mayor Owens has been mayor, there are several accomplishments that the residents of Camilla are proud of. One is the new Community Resource Center that houses the Boys and Girls Club. There are others, and the ones being named was used by the city of Camilla opera funds that include the utility bill assistance, city parks and recreation enhancements, youth employment program, premium pay for all employees, splash park operations, food assistance program for the seniors, and grant program for the arts. The list can go on. Recently, the Georgia Department of Community Affairs, DCA, announced that 6 communities, with Camilla being one, was awarded the planned first designation for the 2025-27 program cycle. In 2023, the Georgia Municipal Association and Georgia Trend magazine honored the city of Camilla as a visionary city. Honor Mayor Owens' leadership, the new gym, the resource center, the depot, youth programs, and more are all evident in revitalizing downtown Camilla and its growing economy. Mayor Owens' commitment to improving our community has not gone unnoticed. He has made a significant difference in Camilla, and I, along with other citizens of this city, appreciate the time and effort he has put into making it a success. We thank you for your invaluable service. Your hard work and dedication truly embody the spirit of public service. Your support has been a beacon of hope for many in our community. Your compassionate leadership and willingness to go above and beyond have not only uplifted spirits, but also fostered a sense of unity. As supporters, and if you are one who support Mayor Owens in what I have said, stand up out of your seat and join me in thanking Mayor Owens for his kindness and support in moving the city of Camilla to a city in which we are proud of.
Well, before anybody do that, before anybody do that, we don't do that here, but Mrs. Spence, I truly appreciate it, but I will be remiss, my friends. I didn't say I appreciate the individual acknowledgement, but I can assure you, my friend, we have a tremendous team here in the city of Camilla, both staff and members around this council that greatly contributed to all those accolades you just mentioned. So I truly appreciate that, and I appreciate the support.
And we love you, and we will continue to support you.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Mayor, before I start, I'm accustomed to 5 minutes, so my speech, if you will, is actually designed for 5. But I know it's your custom here to do 3, and I will abide by that protocol.
Sir.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council members, Madam Interim City Manager, Mr. City Attorney, and to all of the citizens watching this meeting over the airwaves. My name is Martin Broadwell, Sr. I reside in Columbus, Georgia, 31909. I pray all of you are well. I greet you in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I would like to entitle this presentation, Camilla, the eyes of the world are upon you. I grew up here during the turbulent times of the 50s and the 60s. I can still vividly remember a man spitting in my father's face when I was only 5 or 6 years old as we walked down Broad Street. The prosperities in which many of the citizens now enjoy are a direct result of this council. I implore you to continue the progress you have made for so many. Change is one of the hardest things for people to accept in life. But without change, I promise you, there can be no growth. I have dedicated my life to speaking anywhere I see injustice occurring, be it Columbus, Atlanta, Brunswick, Valdosta, Veda, Hopeful, Pelham, anywhere, Savannah. I have killed and been shot at on several occasions, defending the freedoms of all Americans. I will ever walk with a limp, have pain in my body, and suffer from nightmares from the services I have rendered to this nation's freedom, and would expeditiously do it again, without hesitation or mental reservation, if it meant that the next generation could enjoy the same freedoms in which I enjoy. During my early years in Camilla, I grew up drinking hot, foul-tasting water from a water fountain labeled colored in Dr. McNeil's office. But the likes of I.C. Cochran, Clayton Marcus Sr., Frank McCoy, Jerome Jesper, John McCullough, Mary Jo Hayward, Edward Brown Jr., and a plethora of others fought to remove that fountain and other barriers for my generation. I'm gonna skip a part of it and go straight to the mayor. Mr. Mayor, thank you for your leadership, sir. Being an elected official isn't an easy task. And I believe sometimes you feel as though you are still on the battlefield. In many ways, you are. Continue to fight the good fight for all the citizens of this great community. I believe you to be a man of honor. And I would ask that you keep the faith and be strong during the most difficult time, this most difficult time. I would like to offer a few words of encouragement to you. I have used these words of this poem whenever my leadership style or decisions were questioned by others. The poem is if. I'll read the first stanza. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. I'm gonna say this to this council. Again, the eyes of the world are upon you. This is your defining moment with your dash. Your dash. And I'm a taxpaying citizen, so if any of you were wondering why is the man from Columbus speaking in our meeting, I still pay taxes right here. Amen. And I will forever do that. I don't know when I'm coming back, but one day I will come back. But we need you all to do the right thing. That's what we need you to do right now. I want to thank you for your time and attention. God bless you.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Rowan. Thank you. All right. Any other speaker appearances?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Scarlett Wimberly, President of Camilla. To this council, to the mayor, I want to thank you all for this opportunity. Last week I was in Detroit, Michigan. And believe it or not, in Detroit, Michigan, Camilla, Georgia is a hot topic. It's a hot topic, not a good thing. It's a hot topic of when is that city going to move from the 1800s and early 1900s. Camilla is labeled as a racist town. And believe it or not, a lot of my family members used to live here. And they said one of the reasons that they escaped Camilla because of the ways of the 40s, 50s, 60s, early 70s. You know, it was heartbreaking to listen at some of the things that were said, which brought me to this point. When do we move forward? It takes a team to get something done. It's not about one person, it's not about one race, because when this council makes races benefit from it. I have yet to see anybody from Southside come in and decline the payment or the amenities that have been given. But yet and still, there are these hidden agendas, these secret meetings. everybody wants to, I'll say this is about power. And power days are over. It's about being voted in here, getting up and working as a team, and doing what's best for the citizens of Camilla. Because, right, I think in here, all of us are citizens of the corporate city limits of Camilla. We need to be on one accord in everything that we do. Because when there's division, there's a lot of confusion. And right now, it's a lot of confusion in Camilla. We are the laughing stock of the world. As Mr. Broadwell said, like, the eyes of the world are on Camilla. Believe me, I did not expect to get to Detroit, Michigan, and the first thing slapped me in my face is, what in the world is going on in Camilla? It's sad. But yet and still, you want people to vote for you to be in these seats. We get out and work and we vote for you. We need you all to work for us. Because at the end of the day, somebody else will be sitting in these seats. And my job is to make sure that I get these citizens that don't vote in here to vote. Because it's not about this race, that race, or we don't like him, or we don't like y'all. It's about everybody getting up here on this platform, working together on one accord. So I will say this, keep working together, council. Thank you all for everything that you've done to improve the city of Camilla. Thank you for considering the youth. Thank you for considering the seniors. Thank you for making this place a better place to live. And as long as you all continue to do that, I will fight for you all to continue to move this city forward. Thank you.
All right. Any other speaker appearances?
Hello, Mayor, Council. I just want to say my name is Tamara Miller, and I'm a citizen here in Camilla. I came to speak today because I have a different story than most. I was born here, but not raised here. I was born here in '66, and my parents decided to go to Jersey. So from '66 until '82, I lived in the state of New Jersey, but Camilla was home every summer because I had to come spend time with family. But what I can say is I used to cry when it was time to come here because I used to tell my mama there's nothing to do. I don't want to go there. There's nothing to do. And I just didn't want to come here. But I can truly say, and in the year of '82, when my mama said, I'm tired of the snow, I want to go home. We moved back and I had 2 more years of high school here. And my first day of school wasn't a good thing because there was a young man, didn't live here, but he was from Baker County, was very rude to me. And had the audacity to say to me who his dad was, the mayor of Baker County. And I said to him, I said, but you're very rude asking me for a piece of paper. I said, I'm not from the South. I said, I was born here but not raised here. And the only thing I want to say to this council, there has been great change in this city. I have family members that don't want to come here because there's nothing to do. But now they say, oh, I see this. Oh, we got restaurants. Oh, we got a splash park. People are happy now to come home because there's something to see, something to do. New things are here. I worked for the Neighborhood Service Center for approximately 6 years as a manager. And I see the citizens coming in complaining and knowing that there's difficulty paying their utility bills. So I'm not talking about something I heard and telling you about people coming to my desk when I worked there. And I just want to say that this assistance that has been given to every citizen of Camilla was a great help to all of us. And so I can imagine those who saying, ooh, I didn't think I was gonna be able to do this. And I wanna say to this council for the work that has been done to improve so much here, I wanna say thank you. Thank you, Mayor Owens. Thank you all for the hard work that has been brought to this city. Now I tell my family, I'm kind of glad I came back, but at one time I thought I wouldn't stay, but I'm glad to be.
Thank you. All right. Any other speaker appearances?
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Martha Cavanis, and I am a citizen of Camilla. In 1971, I graduated from high school, moved to New York, and lived there for 24 years. And being there, got married, had children, got married. Husband was retiring. In 1994, we moved back. And I can remember so vividly in moving and coming through Camilla at 3 o'clock in the morning, seeing Camilla, I asked myself, what on earth am I doing here? Because I saw no change. Living here from year to year, going on 2000, I still didn't see a change. As the time went on, grandchildren, I had to take my grandkids to neighboring towns for the park because all we had was a space where a park used to be. Everything had become torn down and damaged and unsafe, and porta potties. That broke my heart when I would travel down Butler Street and I would see porta potties in the park where children should be playing. Time went on, still taking my kids to Albany, taking them to different places. We had a meeting at Pastor Miller's church. And we were talking about the same thing, the development of Mitchell County. Where our mayor became mayor, and I'm sorry for not addressing you all. Good evening, thank you so much, Mayor Lawrence. I can truly say, sitting back watching the development of Mitchell County, I'm just gonna continue to what Ronald Spence has already said. There's a whole lot of improvement here. And I have relatives who lives in New York who hear the news, who's looking at Camilla, Atlanta, looking at Camilla, wanting to know what's going on. And then some of them even saying, I see a difference now, okay? Whereas before, I used to go to other towns to have dinner. There are now different restaurants. There's a lot of improvement that has taken place in Camilla. And I thank each and every one of you for bringing that together, because I do see a Camilla that is changing. But if we, as was stated, don't come together as one and work together as one. It's not about your skin color. And it is about the dollar, and I know it. Okay, so, but in any case, I thank you all for doing what you do. I do see a change, and I want this Camilla, this great city, this great Camilla to grow. But I want it to grow in unity. And I want my children, because it's about the children. You know, it's about what are we leaving? What legacy are we leaving to our children?
And Ms. Captain, I'm sorry, you got
Time is
30
up.
seconds. You got about 30 seconds.
30 seconds?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I just want to say again, thank you so much to all of you.
Thank you.
Carol, I wasn't born here, I wasn't reared here, but I've been here 1,000 years. And it's so unfortunate what is happening here in Camilla. It saddens my heart, because it doesn't have to be. We are all God's people. And if we are God's people, we're going to do the right thing. Open your hearts, all of us, and let's try to work together. I support you, Mayor Owens, and I know for all the things that you've done, it took all of you to do it. I appreciate that. And I just want us to continue to work together, but by all means, pray. The Lord is looking at us, and I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Any other speaker appearances? All right. All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate the words and the encouragement. Thank you so much. All right. So we'll go into our first action item, residential solar rate reduction. And it's my recollection that was brought up last week by Councilmember Marie.
Yes, sir, thank you. I am requesting on behalf of one of my constituents, Mr. Jimmy Jones. He has asked to have a reduction on his power bill for the degenerative fee, which ranges between $20 and $22. And he asked me if I would ask for that, and I'm doing that as well.
Okay. We make the motion.
I didn't know if there was any discussion.
Yeah, if you're making a motion, it would be a discussion in the motion.
Okay, all right, well, then I would like to make a motion to have that fee reduced from Mr. Jones' bill.
Okay. Well, just one second. Let's get the fee amount that you're asking to get reduced. You did good with Mr. Jones' bill. I don't know if you have the address in front of you or not.
I believe it may be in some of the paperwork that Cheryl sent us. I know it's on Boulevard. I'm sorry, I don't have the address.
No,
It's Baines Road / Boulevard. I don't have the number, but it is, where the end day Fed breakfast is.
Yeah, so what we'll do is just stipulate that, that we understand the property that you're speaking of.
Okay.
So, you
Now,
know,
the fee, fluctuates. It's not the same every month, but it ranges between $20 and $22.
and the title of that fee, once again?
It is a distributive regeneration fee, I think is the exact amount. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, monthly capacity cost, my bad, monthly capacity cost.
Okay, perfect.
It's 161 Bainbridge Road.
161 Bainbridge Road.
Thank you, Mr. Collins.
So you can fashion that motion to that, the reduction, you don't have to get a dollar amount.
Okay.
The reduction of.
Reduction of the monthly capacity cost,
For 161.
which is item number 6 on the city bill.
Okay.
And, just as a note, Mr. Jones is the only solar customer in the city of Camilla at present time. And he's the only person that is paying this particular fee. And again, it ranges between $20 and $22 a month. Thank you.
Indeed. So let's get the motion one more time.
I'm gonna be sure I get the
Yeah,
exact wording.
That's all right.
A motion for item 6 on his power bill monthly capacity cost, for the city to waive that fee for Mr. Jones at 161 Bainbridge Road.
Perfect.
Second.
Have a motion properly second. Any discussion?
Yes, some of that's already been answered in Marine's opening statements, but currently they're still being charged $13.52 per month per the attachment of the document. It shows the standby capacity rate in residential.
Yes, so, and that's the standard for most of your folks, here in the city.
And then at this time, do we know kind of where those funds go internally once received? Is that like maintenance fees or?
Yeah, so, and this is for everybody else, knowledge also. So when you pay your bill every month, 80% of that bill is fixed. You're gonna pay that every single month. That is part of that capacity cost. That is to maintain the infrastructure of this city. The 20% is variable. That's when if it's too cold today, you may raise your heat tonight. But it may be just right tomorrow, so you're gonna lower it. So those are the variable costs. But most of your bill is what the infrastructure, the poles, the wire, all of the things that keep our electrical infrastructure running. And that's why this ask, I'll explain here in a second why I will probably have an issue with that. But yeah, so that cost that you're talking about is part of the maintaining of our electrical infrastructure.
Absolutely. And then you'll probably explain the second half, but I'm thinking, along the future, and I'll throw a lob to the current election that's happening right now. It's for the Public Service Commission. Who knows how that'll go in the future, but they also deal with utility rates and infrastructure. But we talk about improving grid reliability. So what is the standard? And you may get to it if we drop this, but in the future, just some opportunities we may have for more solar customers in this city with us dropping this.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, get into it a little bit later on why that would be difficult to do. But I want to remind everybody, the PSC, as Councilman Morgan just mentioned, regulates your Georgia Powers of the world and other utilities in terms of the rates. Because we are a full service city and the city of Camilla owns its own electrical infrastructure, it's the reason why we want to give money back to you. We don't have to ask folks for permission, we can just do it as a council. So we are the regulatory body for the citizens of Camilla. The PSC regulates other folks, but they don't regulate anything here as it relates to the electric side of the house in terms of how rates are determined. We, the council, is the body for that. And I'll just briefly touch on why dropping that would not be a good deal long term, even for future solar customers. Any other comments? Yes, sir.
Is it indefinite, or is it a period of time you want to drop it?
Yes. I think that we could probably reserve the right to put it back on at some point if needed. But right now, it's just from now until we deem.
All right. Any other comments? All right, so everybody, let me tell you why, from my perspective, the motion itself, whereas appreciated, it's not a good idea for us here in the city of Camilla, or frankly, when you're talking about the capacity charge for these utilities. The primary reason for we charge that, and everybody to some degree pays some type of capacity charge. And what that means is, when you're at home and you wake up in the morning, the idea is when you get out of bed and hit the light switch, your expectation is that the light's gonna come on, right? That's what that power is. That's what's been asked to be removed. That's the capacity. The power is sitting there waiting to be used. So whether Mr. Jones pays it or the rest of us pay it, the power will always be available to him, and to his business, quite frankly. So if we take that off, then in a lot of ways, that doesn't become fair to everybody else. You with me? Because you're paying that fee, or a derivative of it anyway, to ensure that when you hit your light switch, the lights are gonna come on. So whether you use it or not, your expectation when you come back from vacation, when Mr. Broadwater heads back to Columbus, his expectation when he walk in the house and hit the light switch, that the power is gonna come on. That is no different here. The other aspect of this, and not to get too deep in Mr. Jones's business, but also the reality is when you make the decision voluntarily to add solar to your residence, well, the government appreciates that in terms of clean energy credits, right? So if you're using renewables like sunlight, folks can ask for those credits back either through the open market, but more often than not, through their tax return at the end of the year. You don't get to file anything about your light bill on your taxes. But folks that own renewable infrastructure, they get to do that. So that's why, from my perspective, removing that fee, if you will, for Mr. Jones would just be, unfortunately, unfair to the rest of the residents here. And then also, that fee is directly tied to making sure that the infrastructure of this town, the electrical infrastructure, is still intact and ready to go. So removing the fee does not remove the ability or the capacity of the power that is going into his home. So for that reason, if it came to me, that's something that I could not support. But I'll yield if there's any other comments. All right, any other comments? All right, council, we have a motion that's been properly seconded. Any other discussion? All right, the ask is to remove the capacity charge for Mr. Jones at 161 Chambers Road, effective immediately. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, Madam Clerk, this will be a roll call vote. So yes to remove it, no not to.
Councilmember Ring,
Yes.
Councilman Burley,
No.
Councilman Morgan,
No.
Councilman Collins,
Yes.
Councilman Maples,
No.
Councilman Palmer,
Yes.
Mayor votes no, motion fails. All right, thank you, everybody. All right, item 2, or item B, stormwater drainage study. York and Associates, as you recall, Assistant City Manager White talked a little bit about this last week. We turned this over to him. And we'll get into the motion here in a little bit. But Luke, if you don't mind, if you can just refresh everybody what this is.
So this is a stormwater study of the current issues we're having at McCrew Bullard, Barry Morgan, and the MLK News Group areas. The scope of the services is to locate the existing storm structure, do a hydrology study on it, and also a topographical study. Review and verify the existing storm service plans, and then to map this study, provide a summary of that study, and then provide estimated cost of the fixes.
You know what? I was trying to figure out, you know, so I'm like, man, I know that face. Where do I know that face from? And it just dawned on me. Jim, you got any words related to this, my friend? Everybody, this is Jim York from York Associates.
I think Luke did a great job, but I'll answer any questions. Anybody has anything.
All right, good deal. Thank you. All right. Any questions for Luke or for Jim?
Asking Mr. Burley, I thought we approved that at the last meeting.
No, we went ahead and just moved it forward.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
We said we voted for it tonight. We did discuss that.
That's right.
But we pretty much voted for it.
That's right. Yes, ma'am. Okay. So So yeah, we got Jim here. Council, you got any questions? In my recollection, what is that, 58,000, is that right? Or somewhere, something similar to that?
Yeah,
6 months to complete.
58.5.
Okay. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like I did last week, that
Yes.
this is, these three different projects that be prioritized as to which one is the most urgent and, work that way and do the worst of them first and then down the line.
Indeed. And Jim, if I'm understanding this correctly, this study is just gonna tell us potentially what the solution is or what needs to be done. And then after that, we can determine, or the council can determine, what the priority will be based off that study. Is that right?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. Good deal. All right. Any other questions, council? All right, council, at this time, is there a motion to approve the stormwater drainage study as submitted from York and Associates? Is there a motion?
So move. Second.
No, motion is properly second, any discussion? All right, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right, thank you, council. Council, at this time, item C, 2024 MEAG end of year allocation, and I believe that we're talking about just for 1 year, 2024, which is 950,000, and I believe that was Councilman Morgan that wanted us to come forward. So Councilman Morgan, the floor is yours.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everybody. So the purpose, and this will be in resolution form, but it's just to provide clear guidance on how we are spending your rebate funds. This is a way that I hope prioritizes community engagement and transparency. As you all just heard from the mayor, these funds ultimately belong back to ratepayers. You all paid into this over time throughout the year. In most cases, you think some of this could stay in your pockets per se, but because of that, we feel that it's only right to reinvest these funds back into the community to continue to enhance your quality of life and really deliver some tangible benefits for you all. And our goal again is to ensure that this decision reflects your voices. We had some chances to sit with community and outline some potential categories for the spending. If you don't mind at this time, I'll read the resolution into the record. So this is the resolution for our 2024 year-end settlement. So whereas the Camilla City Council is committed to the responsible and timely allocation of public funds to address critical community needs, and whereas the miscellaneous funds from the 2024 year-end MEAG settlement must be obligated by May 31st, 2026 to prioritize community engagement and transparency, and whereas the following community needs. One, being 2, community redevelopment or development. 3, support for our aging populations. 4, for public infrastructure. 5, for youth engagement and investment. 6, for community engagement and outreach. And 7, for workforce support services. And now therefore be it resolved that the Camilla City Council directs that the miscellaneous funds from the 2024 year-end MEAG settlement be expended or obligated no later than May 31st, 2026. Expenditure shall be aligned to the categories outlined above. Allocation and specific allocations determined by the Camilla City Council. Any fund not expended or obligated by the deadline shall be subject to disposition determined by a majority vote of the Camilla City Council. I'll pause for any feedback from those.
Indeed, and just as a housekeeping matter, Mr. Attorney, in terms of the overall structure of the resolution as submitted by Councilman Morgan, even though this will be a voice vote, if there are any adjustments outside of the main point of this, that this is, in addition to the voice vote, good enough to vote on as is.
Everything is, yes.
All right. All right, council. Any questions as it relates to, these categories?
I have a couple of notes.
Sure.
In May of 2024, the refund was 564,000 and some change, and that was put back into the Flex account. This money that we talked about was also the 941 was put in the Flex account in April. And since that time, we have given a $100 rebate to all city customers. My only concern is perhaps a compromise, and I'm not exactly sure how to do it, because I know that our last meeting, we voted to have the council decide how to use the funds. And, I go back to, minutes of November 24, and, we asked for a substitute motion, for consideration to designate $2.4 million in funds to supplement the utility bill over the next 12 months, which was done. And since that time, we've only got about 700,000 of that that's already been spent. So I guess where I'm going with it is, would it be possible to designate a portion of the money for the resolution and then have a portion remain in the trust to help supplement the utility bill? According to, like I said, the minutes from 2024, we're supplementing to the tune of about 200,000 a month, 2.4 million to supplement the utility bill over the next 12 months. That was voted on. And again, I just was looking at, from the numbers, in our trust account, we don't exactly have a year's worth of that in there, right now. So I just wanted to put that up for discussion, if it would be possible to take a portion of the remaining, which according to less the fees that have already been paid back, there's around $761,000. So would it be possible to take a portion and return it to the trust, and then a portion to be spent for what's stated in the resolution?
Yeah, and Councilmember, and again, and as I pointed out, previously, the issue, with your analysis is you use an account as singular.
Well, there's two accounts. Yeah, I know.
Yes, ma'am. There are two accounts, for a total of roughly or approaching either $7 or $7.5 million.
Correct.
So I just want to make sure that when the citizens of the city hear that amount of money is is running out or whatever the case may be.
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, sir.
I got it. So,
But it is considerably less, to the tune of about, from 2023 September to present, we're running at a loss of about 142,000 a month.
see, Councilmember,
I'm just going from the numbers from the statements, Mr.
well, you use terms like loss.
For what we started to what interest
So
was
that's-
paid,
So that's a reduction.
a reduction, I'm sorry, excuse me. I used the wrong term, but I just took the amount that was begun with, plus what has been taken out, and then plus interest added, because these accounts are a good bit of interest. From that date, and over the time, I just divided by the number of months.
Sure. So just so that the citizenry is aware, there are two accounts. One is called a restricted account. This is the account that I believe the council member is speaking primarily about. You can only use that account for power generation. You can only help pay our light bill with it. The city of Camilla's light bill is about $1 million a month. So what we've been using, or what we've been doing, is supplementing paying our bill out of that restricted account to the tune of about $200,000 per month. The second account, which has a little over $5 million in it, is a flexible account, meaning we can spend that money on anything that we want to include the light bill. But what I can tell you is that even though, based on our current revenues coming in. The $200,000 gives us some breathing room, obviously, right? But you have not heard us come here probably in the last 4 or 5 years saying that we can't pay our bills. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands that there's two accounts being talked about here. I would not recommend that whatever the amount that was set aside, that $2.4 million, is to continue to let that run as is. As the council member mentioned earlier, in 2023, the refund was a little over $500,000. Last year's refund, which we got this year, is nearly $1 million. It nearly doubled in the refund. And that money is sitting in the flexible account. And this is the money, the $950,000 that Councilman Morgan is proposing that we split up over these categories. And what I would add, Councilman Morgan and everybody, just to be completely honest with you, and as Councilman Morgan pointed out in his presentation, as it relates to transparency. As you know, and as some folks have mentioned here, especially during or alluded to anyway, during the speaker appearances, related to some of the challenges here in the city right now. And the vote last week as it relates to the payment of legal fees for certain members of the staff and the council. One of the concerns, or one of the things I've heard is this going to raise my taxes? How's that going to get paid for? And this type of thing. This is unbudgeted money. No one knew last budget season that we will be dealing with this right now. But it's here, right? It has to be dealt with. What I would recommend, council, is to amend this list to include legal fees associated with this. And the reason why, everybody, because at that point, at $950,000 over the course of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 categories, that's $950,000 that wasn't budgeted, that wasn't anticipated, and we don't have to raise light bills, we don't have to raise taxes, we don't have to do any of that. So all of this, which we've been doing, plus the legal fees side of the house, can be inclusive as an additional category, so that we don't have to go back and say, hey, we need to get this for legal fees or whatever the case may be. Listen, whatever is happening right now in this town, there's certain folks around here that did not ask for that. And, but it has to be done. So what I'm going to be requesting, council, is that during the final vote for this is to add item 8, or category 8 rather, in terms of legal fees, so that we know that when it's time to pay the bill or whatever the case may be, we don't have to figure out where it's coming from. There's $950,000 that wasn't budgeted when we started the fiscal year in the first place.
I just want to make a slight correction. Now we have spent 180 roughly thousand of that on rebates already. So the 941 is now 761.
She's referencing the 2023.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. We have spent
So that 180,000 does not come out of this pool,
No,
it
ma'am.
comes out of the other one.
That's correct.
Okay, so we are still at 941.
That's correct.
Okay, all right, now I didn't have the numbers when we discussed this before, but we did spend 274,000 in legal fees for the year, 24 January through November was what I had, so that may give us an idea of what we're looking at, going forward. That was the fees for another court case from the prior year, but the total was $274,000 for 2024, January through November. So again, so if we're looking at 941, then maybe 240-ish, or I don't know, I'm just saying, would it be possible to take part of this settlement and put it back in to help offset that 2.4 million that we already passed for?
Yeah, so to answer your question, that answer can be answered in a substitute motion. You're more than welcome to make a motion to do.
Okay, well, I wasn't sure because we already voted to spend it on projects that I've got in the minutes that we just approved. It says that the council voted to spend this money,
But that's the 2023 refund, man. We're talking about the 2024 refund.
okay, so we, this 55, I'm sorry. Municipal settlement. A motion was made by Councilman Morgan and seconded by Councilman Burley to amend the agenda to add as an action item to allocate $940,000 from the 24 million year settlement for miscellaneous projects.
That's right.
To be decided and voted on by the council.
That's correct.
All right, so my question about the whole thing was, because we've already agreed to spend it, on, according to this, miscellaneous projects.
And these
And so
are,
that's the projects, I understand that, but my question was, so I would need to, if we wanted to set aside a portion of it and put back in the trust, okay.
so all you would have to do is make a motion.
Okay, all right, so I didn't know, and I wanted to ask about that, because we're talking about, and again, I was mistaken about the 180,000, so we're back to 940.
Sure, that's right.
Okay, all right, I've only been at this since January, I'm sorry, I'm doing the best I can. So, dollars.
I would not recommend, attaching, any dollar amount to the categories. And the reason why, we know the categories, if approved. Category, for instance, last year for the new fiscal year, we did not anticipate a water drainage study by York and Associates. So we don't know what type of infrastructure issue. We don't know what type of youth program that we may want to invest in. For instance, it is my goal and hope that members of our youth council will be making an international trip this fall. Get them on a plane with a passport and go see where the rest of the world operates. I suspect that funding will come from this. But because we don't know how much that trip is going to cost, because we don't know the results of the study by York and Associates and what will need to get fixed, that as long as we know the categories and we have projects that pop up, we can simply say at that point, oh, we have to fix this cul-de-sac at the tune of $75,000, or we'll take that from the category of public infrastructure. So I would not recommend attaching any dollar amount to any of these categories.
All right, so does anyone else have any thoughts on returning any of the money to the MEAG trust?
I would recommend that we allocate $500,000 for legal fees, and the balance go to these other projects, because it's going, I anticipate that to be that or more, and so I think that's a fair number. $500,000.
Yeah, and again, everybody, until we know what we know, I wouldn't do that. Because if it's less than $500,000, that is money now that has been encumbered that we can't give to a youth program or our seniors or public infrastructure. We know that the money is there, or will be, at $950,000. And we'll just attach it to each each category.
Okay, well, I would just like to say that while I support every one of these, and Corey, I think you did a wonderful job on the motion. I just, at some point would like for us to put a little money back and not spend it all. I don't want to change anything. But I will not make a substitute motion, but I just wanted to see if there would be a possibility there. It doesn't look like it, so we'll move forward.
Yeah. All right, yes, sir.
I think that all of us are kind of missing what our goal was for last week. Corey mentioned about we're gonna categorize this stuff. So he brought it back and did an awesome job, putting it in the resolution. And all of these categories are things that will help this community, help the city to move forward. Now, on last week, we said we was gonna bring down this money to come up with these categories. So in bringing the money down, just know that all of these categories are gonna be funded, because we got the money. We don't have to search for it. It's already here.
Right.
So what we're going to do is, we're just gonna vote on this, and we're just gonna move forward. And when the time comes, we'll know how to allocate that money in these appropriate categories.
And just one item at a time, I guess.
One item at a time.
Okay, thank you.
I yield back, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. Any other comments? All right, council. Council, at this time, is there a motion to approve the resolution labeled or titled Resolution 2024 Year-End Settlement Expenditures for funds to be obligated by May 31, 2026, as submitted with the additional category of legal fees for a total of 8 categories. Is there a motion to approve this resolution as submitted tonight? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion that has been properly seconded. Any other discussion? All right.
Still think we need to allocate $500,000 for legal fees. That's just a best instant way to do it, and not putting a figure in there is not even just.
Duly noted. All right. Any other comments? All right, council, again, we have a motion that's been properly seconded. Yes is to accept the resolution motion as submitted with the 8 categories, adding the legal fees. Again, we have a motion that's properly seconded. Any other discussion? All right, Madam Clerk, let's do a roll call vote.
Councilmember Moran,
Yes.
Councilman Garland,
Yes.
Councilman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Collins,
Yes.
Councilman Maples,
Yes.
Palmer.
No.
All right, motion carries. Thank you, council. And council, as a secondary to this particular motion, with it passing, now it is time to now actually bring the money here to the city of Camilla. Council, is my estimation, my recollection rather, is that there's at least $950,000. So we would keep that rounded if there's no objection to that. So council, at this time, is there a motion to amend the agenda to add a action item to authorize the mayor and interim city manager and city clerk to sign the appropriate documentation to communicate to MEAG to withdraw $950,000 from the flexible MEAG account that will be eventually deposited into our Georgia One Fund, account. Is there a motion to amend the agenda to add that item, that action item?
So moved. Second.
Have a motion properly second. Any discussion?
Why does it have to be moved?
So right now, that $950,000 is sitting in the VA trust.
And it's at a pretty good interest rate too.
Yes, well, roughly a little over 4%.
Right. 3.9 was the last today.
Yes, ma'am, and we are doing a little bit better than that in our Georgia One Fund. Yeah, but at the same time though, in order to distribute, once we're ready to spend these categories, the money has to be local. We won't be able to do it from the VA trust.
Okay, so it has to be moved before you can spend.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Logistically, you.
And it's 941, 787.
Correct, so,
Okay.
but we're asking for 950, keeping that even number. There's a little over 5 million in the account.
I know, but could we maybe ask for 940 instead of?
You're more than welcome to do a substitute.
I mean, I know the amount was 941, 942, so, yeah, okay, just keeping it under budget, Mr. Mayor, or trying to, under the.
Sure. So, again, if you would like to.
No.
Okay. All right. So it's 950, but to your point, 950 would be drawn down. 940 is what the 2024, or whatever that.
But yeah, it's 10,000.
Yeah.
8.5.
Fair. Okay. All right, any other discussion? And again, everybody, we're just adding this to the agenda. All right, hearing none, we have a motion, that's been properly seconded. All right, Madam Clerk, your roll call.
Councilmember Marine,
No.
Councilman Burley,
Yes.
Councilman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Collins,
Yes.
Councilman Maples,
Yes.
Councilman Palmer.
No.
All right, motion carries. Thank you, Council. All right, Council, at this time, is there a motion to approve? We're drawing $950,000 from the MEAC festival account to be eventually deposited into the city's Georgia Fund One account. And authorizing the mayor, the interim city manager, and city clerk to sign the necessary documentation to communicate that to MEAC. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion is properly seconded. Any discussion?
All right, so the first one was, I thought we just did that.
No, ma'am. So the first one, you have to amend the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay, all right. Gotcha.
Yes, ma'am. Have a motion to properly second. Any other discussion? All right, Madam Clerk, please roll call.
Councilmember Marine,
No.
Councilman Burley,
Yes.
Councilman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Collins,
Yes.
Councilman Maples,
Yes.
Councilman Palmer.
No.
All right, motion carries. Thank you, Council. All right, at this time, item D, wildlife habitat study, for the airport. All right, so everybody, we're gonna, we have, Mrs. Smith, can you hear us?
I can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir. So everybody, as you know, the city has an airport. We're gonna be doing some special stuff out there down the road. Very exciting stuff down there. But just like any other, when you're driving up and down the street, and you gotta look out for the deer, you gotta look out for the birds and these types of things, the same stuff happens here. You gotta keep those types of things in your mind when you're dealing with an airport. So the idea is right now is to have a wildlife study just to see what are we working with here in the city of Camilla. And I think this will be the first one we've had done. And Mr. Logan Smith is here to kind of walk us through that a little bit. So the floor is yours, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the wildlife habitat study would supplement the ongoing fencing project at the airport, which we're already under contract to help the city with during design. The reason for this study is there has been a change in what is considered eligible for that fencing when you get to the construction part of the project. And what the habitat study does is, once you have that study done and it confirms that there is wildlife present at the airport, consistent, or that would cause for a taller and more durable type of fencing, then a better type of fencing becomes eligible for federal funding. So currently, without the study, the airport would be eligible for a 5-foot tall woven wire fabric fence with no barbed wire. As I'm sure many of you are aware, deer can jump fairly high, and you have had some history of deer issues at the airport. So what the study does is, once they identify that there are wildlife present that would deem necessary a taller fence, you would be eligible for up to, and this is the upper limit, the study would deem what the new height would be, a 10-foot tall woven wire fabric fence with barbed wire. So much, essentially double the type of fence, or double the height of fencing, and a more durable material. The kind of the terms of how this would work, we would engage a sub-consultant as an amendment to our current contract for design to complete the habitat study, and that expense would be 100% city responsibility. And if that study is deemed, if that study deems that there are wildlife present that warrants a taller or a better type of fencing material, the cost of that study would be 90% reimbursable with your next construction grant. So when we build the project, essentially. So, but again, if that study comes back and deems there is no presence of wildlife and no additional fencing is required, then that would be a 100% city responsibility. We don't expect that to be the case. Obviously, we can't make any guarantees. Our anticipated project costs or amended extra project costs for that study is in the ballpark of $20,000. So with that, I'm available for any questions that anybody has as far as what the study gets you, the terms of the study, or the benefits to the airport.
All right.
I have a question about the fencing itself. I don't know if you can answer it or not, but is it necessary for barbed wire? Would that not harm the wildlife?
So the perimeter fence is a security / wildlife fence.
So the barbed wire is for security?
Yes, it
Okay.
does also deter wildlife. I can't say for sure if it would harm, an animal trying to cross it. Obviously, the goal is to prevent wildlife from getting into your airport, so.
Alright, so the pictures that we have here, do you have those with you perhaps?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
The pictures that you sent, do you happen to have those?
Let's see.
Logan, those would have been the ones that Michael sent to me. I don't know if you
Oh,
copied on the email or not.
I don't have those handy. I can sort of describe it.
You
So,
are April 17th is the date of the email.
okay.
April 28th, is
Well,
the
April
pictures,
28th, yeah.
April 28th.
So the woven wire fabric is your standard, what we consider like an agricultural fence. The chain link fence is your typical chain link that you see for security and things like that.
So with the wildlife study, we would, if depending on how it goes, we can qualify for the chain link, the much nicer fence.
That's correct.
Okay.
And you would still be responsible for the local share of that fence. So obviously, if the project cost goes up because you have a taller fence or a better material fence, your local share is going to go up. But as of right now, your local share is 5% of the project costs for anything that's federally eligible.
Okay, thank you.
Relatively minimal.
Let me ask you a question. Just that it's gonna be, how you gonna, is it gonna be the cameras or that's typically how you do that, is that right?
Could you repeat that? I'm having a little bit of trouble.
I got you.
Are you gonna be using wildlife cameras?
Cameras. So The study itself, it spans over several days. I believe there are surveillance set up. I do believe there's actually personnel on the airfield as well. But I don't know exactly how that goes. I myself will complete them. But that's information you can find out and get back to you.
Does the study account for the time of year? Because our wildlife movement's gonna be much different in June than it will be in November.
So there's two types of wildlife. To answer your question, I believe it does. There are two different types of wildlife studies. This is the lesser of the two in terms of severity and cost. This is all that's required for the fencing component. There is a larger wildlife management plan. That's a one-year study that the airport could opt to look into. For purposes of this project, we would only recommend the minimum required. That's all that would be eligible for reimbursement. But if the airport wasn't interested in looking into a larger or longer-term study, those are available as well.
Well, also typically at night is when your animals move around. Not do anything.
Yes, I believe the 3-day study does include some nighttime observation. I say 3-day, but I believe it's 3 continuous day and night.
All right. Any other questions? Mr. Smith? All right, so 20,000 upfront. If we qualify, if I hear you correctly, 90% of that will be reimbursed. Is that right?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. All right, so council, literally, we just had a discussion as it relates to the allocation of funding for the MEAC. We already know, and I would highly recommend these types of expenditures that were not anticipated, that will go directly to what we just voted on a moment ago. One of those categories. And again, that's no extra money for the citizens of the city. There's no taxes that have to be raised, no utility rates that have to be raised. This money is already set aside and ready to go. And as we continue to grow and move forward as a city, these types of studies are essential to our economic growth going forward. We are doing things in this town that is well beyond what we used to do over the last 20 and 30 years. So this is good stuff. All right, so council, if there's no other discussion, what I'd like to ask, council, is there a motion to approve the wildlife study as submitted? Yes, so is there a motion to approve the wildlife study as submitted? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion properly second, any discussion? All right, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right, thank you, council. Logan, thank you, my friend.
Hey, well, we can stay on the line so we talk about the next time.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, item E, Air Force Research Laboratory request, use of airport property. Council, this is a little different. The Air Force has contacted the city of Camilla and they want to do some type of study, I believe it's atmospheric, but they need our permission to do that. The details are not fully understood, if you will. So Logan, do you have any indication of what it is that they would be looking for, and B, how would that impact our airport operations? If you have any thoughts on that.
So what I can say, from what I know about it, I already have information that you were also presented with. It appears that the biggest impact would be the erection of a temporary tower with a transmitter at the top of it, approximately 40 feet in height. I believe GDOT has also concurred with this. I believe Cheryl was in contact with your GDOT project manager, Ronnie Hall. The biggest thing would be that the Air Force would need to file 7460 notices. It's an airspace permitting item for the erection of that tower. for the duration that tower is erected. Based on the sketch that was provided, it does not appear that the location they want to place that tower in will interfere with any airport operations. The other item that the city needs to decide upon is, are you planning to charge anything for that, the use of the airport property? If you are, it sounds like it needs to go before GDOT for review, to consider it as aeronautical use, and to determine what fair market value for that lease agreement is. That's part of the grant assurances. If you do not plan to charge for it, I believe 7460 is the only requirement.
All right. From your understanding, who's responsible for that permitting?
That would be the Air Force. I don't believe that would be the city's responsibility. That is something that I would verify in writing via email or otherwise. If you do allow this, just put a condition in there that they would be responsible for that 7460 permitting. Should not be anything new to the Air Force, but.
Okay. All right. So council, as you can see from your packet, the experiment, they want to have that happen in April of 2026 and want to do a field study this week, actually. Want a site visit rather, to come out and do it this week. Obviously, it's up to this body. Any thoughts related to if you would want to do this or not? I will say this. Because of the work that we're going to be doing out of that airport, when you're talking about bringing in unmanned flight, drone technology, and other technologies here in the city, big box stores like your Amazon, your Walmarts, FedEx, UPS, these folks are actively ordering these electric aircraft to operate at some time here in the very near future. My personal belief is I don't know why the city of Camilla can't get in on that game. There's only one airport in this state that is currently outfitted to handle and charge electric aircraft, and that's Augusta. So I don't know why we cannot get in on that program. So what does that have to do with this particular act? I think this type of intergovernmental cooperation and partnership goes a long way. We're making applications and making marketing decisions to other folks that the city of Cabela has absolutely no problems partnering with other folks that are looking to use our airport. So I think this is a great partnership opportunity. I wouldn't charge them anything to do it. If they're responsible for permitting and putting up their own equipment, they're gonna learn something from it. Advancing science, if you will, ionospherics study. I think that's pretty intriguing stuff. And they want to do it here in Camilla. Why not? But those are my thoughts, council. Let me yield and see if there's any thoughts from the body. Yes, sir.
We should work with them. I mean, after all, the federal government's pretty much paying for most everything at that airport out there anyway. We may have bought the land with that. I'm not sure about that. I'm sure we probably did. But anyway, I think we should partner with them and be glad to do it.
Indeed. All right, any other comments? All right, so council, at this time, is there a motion to authorize the use of the Camilla Airport for a planned Air Force Research Laboratory ionospheric experiment for April 15th, 2026, and will allow the United States Air Force to do this at no charge? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is properly second. Any other discussion? Go ahead.
One piece of discussion with that, will they include any environmental studies with that? I know they're doing the walkthrough I know one of the terms is an array. Just wondering if that will cause any environmental concerns for the citizens in general. I know our airport is out kind of away from folks, but just will that be a supplement to that as well?
Yeah, I mean, that is a great question. Logan, the question from Councilman Morgan is, are there any environmental considerations, let it be noise, electric signals, or any of that kind of stuff that potentially, from your estimation, and you may not know the answer to this, and that's why they're doing the walkthrough, but any concerns or danger, if you will, for the citizens, putting up this equipment?
Unfortunately, Mr. Mayor, I can't speak to that. I really don't know. I think if they are going to be on site this week, evaluating the airport, it would be a great time if the city as representative could be there to meet with them, to maybe get some of those answers. I would recommend that.
All right.
I'll do that.
Great.
I just looked it up on my phone and it just says that, this type of experiment uses radio waves, to check the properties of the atmosphere. So it's, just gonna be in the air. I don't know how radio waves would affect the wildlife, but, gotcha. If you look at the line that it shot runs from, there's a kind of a straight line that's going from the Gulf up to here, on farther, so we wouldn't be the only ones impacted. I think they're kind of doing it piece by piece, so they've got one piece, then here, and then they'll kind of keep working. Radio waves is what it is.
Cause cancer sometimes too.
I think that's a great question.
Yeah, I think the question for the Air Force when they come down is asked if it's ionizing or not. If it's not ionizing, then.
Indeed. All right. Got a motion, properly second. All right, any other discussion? All right, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Awesome. Thank you, Councilman. All right, item F, one-day alcohol permit, Chamber of Commerce. Cheryl, what you think?
Okay, this was submitted by, their executive director, Don Gray, and this is their first, it's a new art show, so once council approval is received, these start getting approved in-house administratively every year. So y'all have to approve it the first time, and then after that, we can approve them in-house administratively. So this is gonna be held on July the 12th, from 7:30 to 11:30. It's gonna be an art show with entertainment and dinner. The first thing will be an Ag Fest invitational art show. We'll be held at the Broadwell.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the request by the Chamber of Commerce.
Second.
Now, motion to properly second. Any discussion? All right.
And this is for a one-day alcohol permit.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right, thank you, Council. 4th of July fireworks event, selection of event coordinator. So Council, item G. Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I will, for the record, I would like to abstain from action item number G.
Okay. For what reason? Yes, sir.
Because the company that is going to be named is relative connected to my wife.
That's what we got. So Council, everybody got that, right? Okay, good deal. And Council, and just for the public, before we get into votes like this, that's a requirement for our charter to make sure that the council understands that if you vote yes on this, just understand that that's something that could inherently benefit the mayor pro tem, but as you just mentioned, he's recusing himself from the vote, so he won't be voting in this at all. But the council is aware of the connection, so appreciate that, Mr. Mayor. All right. So, council, this amount, outside of the fireworks is below the threshold. This budget is $20,000, what we're budgeted, outside of the fireworks, if you will. For lack of better words, we're sole sourcing this because Southern Bell Collective, the name of the company, is also doing our Juneteenth. And this is the second year in a row that we will be having 100% drone fireworks show. The only difference this year, everybody, we're gonna have pyro. So some of the drones will have fireworks on them, without the boom. Without the boom. So you will see the flares, if you will, but without the noise. So we're adding a little extra to this year's deal. But in addition to the fireworks show, we have music, we have food, so we need folks to coordinate that. And based on the work that Southern Bell Collective is providing for our Juneteenth, they are well positioned to move right into the July 4th setup, my estimation fairly flawlessly. So council, that is the ask, that we approve Southern Bell Collective to operate our 4th of July event for us here in the city of Manila. Before I ask for a motion, just want to see if there's any generic conversation or thoughts.
And what's the amount budgeted for this project?
20,000.
What are we gonna be getting for the 20,000?
Ms. Burley, I see you out there, and I know you got it right in front of you. You mind coming up and talking a little bit?
Good evening, everyone. How are you?
Good.
Do you want me to go to the budget items?
Yes, just go down the list, and council, just know, the city attorney is reviewing the agreement, so if approved, it'll be contingent upon, final approval or final review rather, from the city attorney. But yeah, just go ahead and list, all the way down.
So just to give you a few division and a few highlights, it's a family festival, which will include food trucks, kid zones, live music, contests, local vendors. We will also have a veterans tribute, which will have a small, short program to recognize all of our veterans. And then it will conclude with the evening fireworks. However, we will also have an entertainment which will be bands, DJ, and an MC. And this will be regional. It won't be somewhere outsourced, really far. We're trying to reduce all local people. Our fireworks display, instead of the city continuing to rent a stage, the money is allotted within this budget for the city to purchase a stage. And that amount, it doesn't include the trucks, but the stage itself is about $7,000. But this is a weatherproof stage, so it's a lot. The kids zones, we have inflatables, we have $1,000 budgeted for kids. The permits and insurance will be city sponsored. We have marketing and printing at $1,250. We have event staffing at $2,500. Those are the people that we hire to come in to help assist on day of. We have supplies and decorations. And any other questions?
Like you say, that included the fireworks or does not?
It does not. I didn't read off the fireworks in the budget, but I did submit that paperwork.
Indeed, and so that everybody understands, this is not the charge. This is what was budgeted already. What we're asking Southern Bell Collective to do is just execute it for us. So this is money that was already budgeted. We just didn't have a contractor to put it all in motion for us. And if approved tonight, that's what they would be doing, for us. All right.
Yes, sir.
You have something for the next?
Well, we can ask the city if they will drive through.
One big thing.
Everything else.
Perfect, thank you for that. So council, at this time, is there a motion to approve Southern Bell Collective to be the 4th of July 4th of July event coordinator for the city of Camilla 4th of July celebration? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is properly second. Any discussion? Thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl just reminded me that I just said the words not 5 minutes ago, contingent upon council review of the agreement by our city attorney. All right, so let me clean that up. So council, is there a motion to approve the Southern Bell Collective as the city of Camilla 4th of July event coordinator, contingent upon the agreement being reviewed by our city attorney? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Our motion is properly second. Any discussion? All right, all in favor? All opposed? The motion carries, and Madam Clerk, let the record show that Mayor Pro Tem Burley did not participate in the vote. All right. All right, item H, everybody, this is what I was talking about earlier related to the election contractor. So council, what the ask is going to be that we authorize the city manager, Cheryl, reached out to the county. We saw the email. The board decided that they did not want to do the election for us this year. So what I'm going to recommend is that we authorize the city manager to see if we can find a regional or even statewide contractor to come and supervise our election for us. Here in the city of Camilla, we use electronic machines. And we need someone that is qualified to do that for us. So that would be my recommendation, to have City Manager Ford go ahead and start looking for some folks that can do that for us. But that's my recommendation, but let me yield council and see if any thoughts from the floor.
Is this a service that the Secretary of State's office provides to with the contractors, or is also a preference of folks who have been working at regional elections offices as well?
And that's the ask, Cheryl. Any thoughts on that?
Okay.
Yeah. We pretty much, they could probably help point us in a direction, but they wouldn't provide it, if you will. Yes, sir.
I have a name for you, Cheryl. It's a lady that has been doing this for 25 years. And she lives over in Ben Hill County. Her name is Cindy Dunlap. She's certified, got all the credentials. She's been doing city elections. One of them is Fitzgerald in other cities. So I have her contact. She is willing to talk to us and see what we can work out.
And I'd also like to offer an additional name too. That's why I prefaced it with that. This would be for Mr. Jeremiah Mullins. He's currently a poll manager for Albany-Gordon County elections. Mullins.
Yeah, I'll need to record that thing.
Gotcha.
So I will reach out to both of them, that's all, and I'll let y'all know.
Indeed. All right. Any other suggestions? Sure, thank you, sure. All right. Mr. Attorney, just to follow, we authorized Cheryl last week to reach out to the county, to see if we can get them to work. In your estimation, do we need a separate authority, to have a reach out to a regional contractor? Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, council, is there a motion to amend tonight's agenda to add a question, to allow the city manager to reach out or contact an election contractor to run the 2025 City of Cabela city elections? Is there a motion to amend the agenda to add that as an action item?
Second.
Motion is properly second. Any discussion? All right, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right, council, at this time, is there a motion to approve authorizing the city manager to contact an election contractor to supervise the city of Camilla elections for November 2025? Is there a motion?
Second.
Motion is properly second. Any discussion? All right, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right, thank you, council. All right, item 7, city manager's report.
Good for everyone.
Yes, sir.
So update, from our water tower maintenance program, Justice Tank, the exterior paint job is complete. We have a follow-on meeting with our provider to go over another paint job this year for either Legion and Children's Creek. We'll keep y'all updated on that, how that meeting goes. Our request for proposals for the bid openings, Cemetery Road Phase 2, that bid opening is June 11th, 2025 at 11 a.m. at City Hall. The pump station rehabilitation bid opening is June 18th, 2025 at 11 a.m. at City Hall. And the gymnasium bid opening is July 14th, 2025 at 2 p.m. at City Hall. That's all.
So the only thing that I have is on the current CDBG. I reached out to the engineer and he tells me that he is now 75% complete with the design, that he expects to be completed by July the 15th, and it will be out for bid August the 1st. I don't have a timeline on what he anticipates the completion date will be once construction starts, but I think once he finishes the design, maybe estimated. And I'll fall back up.
Perfect. Any questions for the city manager or assistant city manager? Anybody? All right, just real quick, and Luke, you can speak on this. For those of you that are not aware, we'll do some pictures probably tomorrow. We started about 2 weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, renovating the bathrooms out at the stadium. So these bathrooms have not been touched in 20, 25, 30 years. We just completed the first 2. And we're gonna go all the way around to the baseball we're starting on the home side of the football field. And we're gonna go around to the baseball fields. The idea here, everybody, is that the stadium is an economic growth driver. You can't have an economic growth driver with substandard restrooms and porta potties. That won't work. So we are extremely proud, and Luke, from your estimation, how would you characterize the improvements of these first 2?
They have brand new toilets and urinals. The sink is very clean, new paint job throughout, and new flooring. It looks completely new. So it's nice.
Yeah, when we turn, thank you, and when we turned this thing into an entertainment zone, that was part of the vision. To make it just that, folks come out here for a concert or anything, they need a nice bathroom to go to. When these kids are out here playing ball, they need a clean bathroom to go to. So, we are extremely happy about that, and you may say, man, that's a whole lot of renovation and so forth and so forth. How much is that gonna cost us? Ladies and gentlemen, you've already paid for it, meaning we're using ARPA funds. So we set aside ARPA money to ensure that this is paid for, so that we don't have to come back to you and say, give us any extra taxes or give us any extra anything. We're leveraging those federal funds to make sure that our kids and our visitors to this town have the very best that they need. Next time you're out at the gym, next time you're out at the stadium, which probably I think Juneteenth, you'll have an opportunity to see that for yourself. You have that. Yes, yes, sir.
Is the handicap access to the ball fields.
Yes, sir.
Is that gonna be included in this?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, talking to Luke today, Luke, can you touch on that a little bit on the ADA side?
Yeah, so, the visiting side has ADA restrooms. We're gonna put signage up, indicating that. There's new signage out there for ADA parking. We can get it restriped as well. There's a ramp. I'll check the ramp.
Well, that's the main thing I was referring to, not the restrooms, that was the physical access for handicapped people, if they were wheelchair, walkers, or whatever, to get to the feet.
Okay, I'll check it. I believe there's.
That's already there.
Yeah, there's a ramp for the bleachers.
Well, this is over at the baseball field now, not the stadium.
Oh, the baseball fields. I'll run out there and see what's needed.
I understand it was real hard to get to if you are, handicapped as far as walking and whatever.
I will run out there tomorrow and make a list.
Baseball field, not the stadium.
Baseball field. Okay.
Yeah, and council and for the public, we set aside, I want to say $200,000 for that. And again, that wasn't money that was generated by you. That was federal American Rescue Plan Act money. Here in the city of Camilla, a lot of folks use that money, entities use that money to pay their bills. Here in the city of Camilla, this council, we said we're going to put it back into the people. And we're extremely proud about that. Very happy about that. Council, I want to remind you that budget season is upon us. So start looking at what your budget priorities will be for this coming fiscal year. And so just want to remind everybody of that. This is June. We should get the first transmittal, I want to say, in July.
I start on the calendar today, I got it.
Sure. But again, Cheryl been doing this for 11 years, everybody. So we'll be set. And we'll start having hearings, I believe, in August. So we're on track with that. So please start thinking about your budget priorities as we move forward. We've got a lot of stuff that is happening this year coming up. All right. Council, anything else? All right, Council, it appears that we have reached the end of our agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Wrong about the